It's time now for the Athlete of the Week, and it's brought to you by Diamond Point and Sock Center here on Mid-Minnesota. And with us today is a Melrose senior. This is Tyler Pullman. Well, Tyler, if you could start out, tell us about your family, okay?
My parents are Mark and Amy, and I have two sisters, one older, one younger. My sister Allison goes to school in Morris, and I have a younger sister, Jess, in 9th grade.
Okay. I got to ask you about the school. How is school working for you and for your classmates?
Like with the whole hybrid?
Just everything, yeah. Take us through a typical day and what your week is like.
Well, my last name is in the second half of the alphabet, so I'm a B. So then I go to school Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I think last spring was better, but it's going normal, better than anticipated.
Mm-hmm. Do you find, do people get frustrated with this?
I have heard people getting frustrated with it.
Yeah, and in what way? What is kind of bugging them?
They are having a harder time learning because they're not in the classroom half the time.
Do you find it's, how are the teachers with it too? Are they pretty good at this or getting better?
Yeah, I think they're patient with the students like they need to be, and they always remind us to ask questions if we ever need any help, which is a big help. Well,
and again too, has it been stressful for students as well to where it's like every day, every week, there's always seemingly something around the corner that could change? Do you kind of sense that?
Yes.
What other activities are you in?
I swim and I run track.
All right. So what do you do in the swimming team?
I just joined a couple years ago. I mainly swim freestyle, like the 200 free, a little bit of the 50 and the 100 free.
Mm-hmm. Well, what made you go out for swimming then?
My friends made me in 10th grade.
Oh. and how did they make you do that?
They just said I had to do it, and then I thought it didn't sound half bad because I'd be doing it with them.
Mm-hmm. Because swimming, I think, and again, like any other sport, but you guys are tight, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, could you describe just the atmosphere and how the coach leads you, and what is the atmosphere for Melrose Swimming?
It's really nice because the coach is friendly. He's like a friend with us, and then we're all really, really close. We get together outside of practice all the time, and then when we swim, we talk to each other every chance we can, but like we're underwater half the time.
Mm-hmm. So with cross country, what I want to do here is talk us through how you prepare for a race, okay? So say, for example, when you go to a course, all the courses are different, some flat, some hilly. What are you looking for when you go to a course?
When we show up there, we always go out and walk the course, the entire course that we have to run. I mean, just watching for any place where place where we can not sort of say cut corners, but just go flag to flag because it goes one flag to the next to indicate turns. So instead of making a rounded turn, we just go straight to make the distance as short as we can. And we're looking for potholes, ruts, places where we would know it'd be good to speed up, and then how far away from the finish we should be before we start picking up speed.
And do you find personally that are you better at hills or flat, or what do you prefer?
Well, flat is always easier, but I think I'm pretty good at running hills.
So what does it take to be a good hill runner?
You just have to keep your knees high, keep your head up, and just try not to slow down.
So as you start a race then too, are you looking off to the side? Because I see that you run against a lot of the same guys, right? And so are you trying to prepare for them, or just keep it within just what you're going to do yourself?
Just what I'm going to do myself. I mean, if there's somebody that I should be pacing with, because everything goes by points, then I'll just look for him once the race starts. But mainly it's just myself, what my first mile should be, and then just going from there.
So do you develop kind of a rhythm then as you're running?
Yes.
Yeah, and how far do you go until you start to either slow down or speed up?
That depends upon who I'm with most of the time. So if I'm about to get cut off at a corner, I try to get ahead of the guy. Otherwise, I try to speed up at about half mile towards the finish, and then at the start of the race, I go faster than my normal pace to try to get out in front of people so I don't get cut off.
Do you find that as you're running each individual race, so you've got that last half mile to go, do you feel it inside that sometimes you have a little bit extra and sometimes you don't?
Yeah, and when you do, it's a really good feeling.
Yeah. I've got to ask you this, because I've been to a lot of finishes. When I see runners come in and they're about half dead, okay, and they're gasping for air and they're in agony, and my first thought is this fun?
Well, you try not to remember those parts.
Okay. So what motivates you then to be a runner like that?
The competition aspect of it and the people I'm running with, my teammates.
Do you find that with Melrose Cross Country, what is the atmosphere like right now? Maybe give some words of advice to some younger runners. Why would you want to become a cross country runner?
You get a great chance to spend a lot of time with a lot of good people. So then you can get to be really close friends with them. And the running isn't always the funnest, but it feels really good once you get in shape and everything.
As you were a younger runner, when did you first start running cross country?
7th grade.
All right. Did you look ahead or look up to some of the runners at that time?
Yeah, there was a lot of upperclassmen at the time, so I was looking up to everybody really.
So who did you see and what did you learn from them?
Names specifically?
Yeah.
John Meyer and Preston Pepping were my idols for most of my career. And then they were just so fast. I wanted to be fast like them. And then I got put on JV my first year. So I was already running with some high schoolers. So I just made it my goal to each race try to beat just one more every time.
Well, as you've gone through then, as you get bigger, stronger, faster, hopefully, how have you improved in what ways as a runner?
I've gotten a lot smarter with my races, and I know a lot more faces, so I know if I know a person, I can typically guess how they'll run it, if they're going to try to pick up at the last mile or the last 400 of the race.
Do you have examples then too, I suppose, that maybe you went out too fast and you're going, oh man, this isn't going to go?
Yeah, normally you notice at the first mile when the coach tells you your time, because you don't really feel it right away. Like, you feel fine, but if your time's way too fast, normally you feel it around the second mile, and then you're just gassed.
And again, too, I'm sure you have to. It's a mind game too, or a mindset to where obviously you're not going to win every race, right? Mm-hmm. And so, how do you handle that sort of a thing?
Just remember that it's a team game, so then it's not only you that counts. Your teammates can also get you the win.
You know, I noticed too. Can you mention something about your coaches, because they seem very enthusiastic about this, aren't they?
They are. They're really good coaches. They care a lot about this, and they know exactly what we need to do to get where we want to be.
So as you head into your competition now, has the season gone okay with? It's different, isn't it? You're only running against 2 other teams. How has that been different for you?
It's really different, and it's by no means preferable, but small meets are kind of fun because then you get closer with the people you're running against, because you get a chance to talk to them a little bit more. What
do you plan on doing after high school?
Going to college, maybe St. John's or Moorhead, for a degree in computer science.
Okay. Are those types of classes that you take now?
Not really any computer classes I'm taking right now.
All right. I should ask you about the school itself. What are some of the subjects that you do like?
I like psychology a lot, so if I got a career in psychology, that wouldn't be bad. I'm pretty good at English, but math is pretty fun.
So with psychology, I don't understand the first thing about it. What is it that kind of gets you going with that?
Because it's different, really. It's not studying numbers or how things should be. It's a bunch of theories about how the brain works and how people interact with each other, and it's pretty interesting.
And do you have a good teacher in that way?
Yeah.
And who is that?
Bill Ayers.
Okay. All right. Well, real good. Swimming, I got to touch more on that with Coach Meyer and the team. What kind of a team do you think you'll have this year?
I think we'll have a good team. We have a lot of seniors that have been swimming for a long time. We'll be pretty strong.
Well, congratulations up to this point, and I hope your frustrations are few with everything that's going on. Are you guys hanging in there okay?
Yeah, so far so good.
All right, real good. Well, thank you. That's been Tyler Pullman. He's a senior for Melrose here on Mid-Minnesota Sports as our Athlete of the Week.